I'd like now to welcome Mr. Peter Matthews, and I wish to advise everyone that we will receive opening remarks from Mr. Matthews, which will be followed by a question and answer session. And I'd request the members to be to the point in asking questions, and we have to finish or 3-ish around that time, so we haven't that much time.
You, in response to Deputy Bruton on the most key issue that you've mentioned today, which is that AIB needs to be capitalised to the tune of 10 billion. It was Patrick Honohan and Matthew Elderfield who set the capital ratios and who set the figures of 7.4 billion for AIB and 2.8 billion for Bank of Ireland. You know, are you stating that you disagree with the figures and the analysis and the decisions that were made by Patrick Honohan and Matthew Elderfield?
I agree with them 74%, i.e. 7.4 billion out of 10 billion. That's how much I agree with them. There's another, there's another 26%.
You disagree with them. Secondly,
no, I don't disagree. Sorry, you don't put words in my mouth. I don't disagree. I'm saying that they're on the way to arriving at my figure. If we had sat down and had a discussion, maybe they'd agree with me.
They have set two figures of 7.4 billion, 2.8 billion. You've come in here today, you've stated they're wrong, that in the case of AIB, you say it should be 10 billion. I just wanted to establish, yes or no, you agree with them or you don't.
Do you want to hear what I think? Do you want to hear what I think?
Well, I've heard it.
I'll repeat it because I think you misheard it. AIB needs, in my opinion, 10 billion of capital now, not 7.4 before the year end. Now, isn't that clear? Thank you.
In regard to your fundamental principle of blanket nationalisation of the banking system, could you tell how much that would cost the taxpayer if that were to be taken place now?
It's on the paper that you got circulated.
Could you just give us the figure? And
17 billion.
Could I just maybe state what the Minister for Finance said at the weekend, where he said the policy of blanket nationalisation, which some have advocated, would have deprived Bank of Ireland of the considerable private sector funds it is now raising, leaving the taxpayer to foot the bill. Would your policy initiatives not prevent Bank of Ireland and indeed other banks from being in a position to raise money in the private sector as Bank of Ireland have just done?
Think rather than immediate knee-jerk, think 5 years. The 27.8 billion, which is on your sheet, will pay us back a minimum of 32 billion, probably 35 billion, and maybe more in 5 years' time. That's a far bigger dividend for the state, with transparency in the interim, and with businesses benefiting and the economy taking traction.
That's not the question I asked.
It is the question.
I think unfortunately, we have to finish our meeting.
The figure stated as to the cost of the blanket nationalisation that Mr. Matthews feels is the proper way to go forward.
It's there on the first page that you got. 17 billion on top of the 7 billion already invested in the two banks, and I actually see that there will be a return of the 3.8 that went into Anglo. That's why I say the 10.8 plus 17 is 27.8 will yield a return. If you read the script, questions and answers, it's very simple on the next few pages.
Yep. I'd like to thank Mr. Matthews for coming in. I'm sorry that we didn't get started on time.